Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel, TaterTot Makes. My name is Autumn, and I am the creator behind TaterTot Makes. I kind of forgot my little intro, and I'm in a little bit of a rush today because I have a lot to do. It is Sunday, June 9th. Yes, June 9th, and I'm coming to you from southern Idaho, where I live with my husband and our 2 dogs and our 2 cats. And I have a lot of finished objects to show you this week. So some of them I would like to be able to gift next week, and I'm not going to have time to podcast between now and Friday. So I'm hopping on really quick to show you everything. And it's been about a month since I did a regular podcast. So it'll be good to have everything caught up for now. But like I said, I do have a lot to do today, so I'm going to make this kind of quick. So we're just going to get right into it. I'll have links to everything, my Ravelry project pages, my Etsy shop, my Instagram, Facebook, everything down below in the description box. So if you have any questions, you can leave me a comment or shoot me an email or message me on Instagram, because I will probably forget to mention something, but I at least want to show you the finished objects before I give them away. So just have my Lord of the Rings tea mug today. Really quick, Merrick and I were both very sick last week. It started on Sunday, so a week ago today. With a nasty upper respiratory virus. So if my voice sounds kind of nasty, that's why. If I have to cut a section out, it's because I had a coughing spell. That's why I have honey tea, to hopefully mitigate that factor. But anyway, here we go. First finished object. And you might be able to hear the lawnmower because Merrick is outside mowing the lawn very quickly. Because we haven't done that all week, so it's a little bit of a jungle, but hopefully it's not too distracting if that noise comes through in the background. So, longtime viewers have seen this project for a long time, probably even since the beginning. And if you watch the vlog, you'll see kind of the story with this project, but here it is. It's the rainbow blanket. It's done. So, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. It is totally done. Everything is woven in and blocked. I am making this for a friend's coworker who actually already had her baby, and she's been on maternity leave. So, did I say a friend's coworker? A coworker slash friend's baby. My brain's not all here, so I am so sorry for whatever comes out of my mouth. Anyway, this blanket has been a little bit of a crazy project. First, I started decreasing, so it's a corner to corner blanket, so I started on this end with 3 stitches, and I kept increasing every row until I got to what I thought was halfway through the yarn. But I started decreasing too early. I started decreasing here, but I needed to get through one of this color and half of this color. So long story short, I had to rip it all out and start over. So I cast it on 3 stitches again and knit until I was at the right color to start decreasing. And then I was decreasing. We went on vacation to Montana to visit my in-laws. And if you saw in the vlog, my yarn as I got to this last solid orange color, it got all knotted up. It was a mess. And my father-in-law and my husband decided that they were going to untangle it. But we ended up having to cut quite a bit out. So on the ride home back to Idaho, I was trying to finish this blanket, and I ran out of yarn because we had to cut so much out. So I put it away. I debated on if I had like a contrasting, or not contrasting, a coordinating leftover yarn in my leftover stash that I could like just do the tip. It was like 35 rows. It was like, let's see. I can't even find where I wove in the ends. It was like here. So I needed like that much to get finished. So I debated on that, but I'd already ripped this blanket out once, and just so that it would be perfect, and be exactly what I imagined it would be. So it kind of killed me to think about having this teeny tiny triangle at the top be slightly different orange. So I ended up caving in the end, and I bought a whole nother skein of the yarn. And then I just picked out the orange, solid orange middle, and finished it. 100% worth it. I think it is perfect now. I'm so happy that I did that and I didn't just say, I'll just do something that's close. Because I wouldn't have been happy with it. So, but the problem is now I have all of this yarn left to do something with. And now it doesn't have a solid orange middle. So, I don't know what this will become. Maybe I could do like baby booties out of each individual color. That'd be kind of cute. And then just gift them away as babies come along. I don't know. It is 100% cotton, which it's actually very soft cotton. I love it. So, yeah. I knit this on US size 4, and I used the Easy Peasy blanket pattern by Madeline Tosh. It's my go-to baby blanket pattern. You just start at one end and increase till halfway, and then decrease the other half. It's wonderful. The yarn is Hobby Cotton King Sultan Deluxe in the color 33, but my notes say Rainbow Jewels, so that matches. So yeah, I'm very excited to have this done, and it kind of getting this off the needles because it was on there so long, and I just kept running into issue after issue with it. It kind of sparked some creativity once I got it done, and I was like, wow, that wasn't so bad, kind of fun, and now I can work on some other things. So I'm so excited to be able to gift this now that it's been shown on the podcast. So of course, I gave this baby that this blanket's going to some booties at her baby shower, and he wears them all the time. It's adorable, but he's gonna grow out of them. So of course I thought, well, I'm a little late with the blanket, so I'm gonna cast on some booties and make them a little bit bigger so that he can wear them a little bit longer. So first I made these, and this is all out of leftovers. So I've made socks out of like full adult size socks out of each of these, and then just save the leftovers. And that's usually what I do with my leftovers if I can't find a purpose to do like contrast cuff heels toes. They become baby booties. So these are the rainbow ones, and I always knit on US size 1 my socks and my baby booties. If I don't, it's very rare, and I will mention it, but otherwise they're all US size 1. My favorite are my ChowGoo needles, but I do also like the Addy lace needles. I don't remember, but these are my go-to ones right now. So this pattern is the Hodge pattern by Stella Lang, and the yarn for these is Blue Moon Fiber Art Socks That Rock in Rainbow Speckled Love. So very cute. Also, really quick, while I am thinking about it, sorry if the lighting's kind of weird. I had to turn on the overhead light because it's later in the day than I normally podcast, and it's kind of cloudy, rainy, so the lighting wasn't great. So I apologize. This is kind of put together a little haphazardly. So anyway, rainbow baby booties to be gifted. And then of course I had to make another pair because these came out quite big. Because this yarn, even though it's it says lightweight and it's sold as a fingering weight sock yarn, I find it's quite round, and the gauge that I get it at is more of a sport weight. So I cast it on the same amount of stitches that I always do, knowing that this was going to be big. The yarn was going to be big, so I'd get a bigger booty. But I think they're a little bit too big for him right now. So I found some other scrap yarn and I cast it on kind of like a middle. So the first ones I gave him were like newborn baby, and then these ones are probably closer to like 3-month size. And then these ones I would say are more to like 6 to 9-month size. So that way he has a little bit as he grows up. Same thing, US size 1. These are also Hodge. I usually always use the Hodge pattern. I love it. It's my go-to. I have it memorized. So if I forget to say that, that's probably what it is, unless I otherwise note it. If I forget to mention anything, you can always go to my Ravelry project pages and I list all my details there. So these booties are Malabrigo leftovers in the Carabino colorway, and they're just different shades of blue and a little bit of green in there. They're super, super soft. Yeah, so there's all my baby makes for right now, and I had a lot of fun making these booties and getting everything kind of finalized to be gifted. So that's just 3. There's more finished objects. Can you believe it? I don't know that I've ever had this many finished objects at once. I am participating in the Summer Sock Camp 2024 that's hosted by Kay of the Crazy Sock Lady podcast and Instagram page and stuff. And basically it's you can knit socks all summer and you enter them in for prizes and stuff. So I'm not really doing it for prizes, but I'm being inspired by everybody's posts on the socks that they're making and the yarns they're using and the patterns. And I have a huge, huge sock yarn stash. And I thought, I finished the baby blanket. I'm going to treat myself and use some of this sock yarn that I've stashed away forever and ever and ever. So that's what I did. So first I finished the ones on my needles, and these are my Christmas Eve cast on socks for December of 23. The yarn is, the main color is Stranded Dye Works in the Gingerbread House colorway. This is in a Merino Sport base, so there's no nylon. So I decided to get some sport weight sock yarn to do heels and toes, because those are the 2 points that I wear through the most, especially because I have like closed toe Birkenstocks that I love to wear around the house with my hand knit socks, and they tend to be a little rougher right here. So I wanted to make sure that there was some nylon to make these last as long as possible. So yeah, I'm very happy to have these done. I did the London Bee Ridge pattern, which is by the Knitting Expat Designs, Mina of the Knitting Expat. It's just a cute ridge pattern, give it some texture. I only did it on the front side of the sock. Her pattern I think goes all the way to the back side, but I just didn't want to do that. So yeah, I already mentioned the main color. The contrasting color is Cascade Heritage 6 in Como Blue, and I was trying to mimic the green speckles here, which kind of failed at. It's more blue, but I think it still looks super cute, complimentary. So yeah, that was fun to get off the needles. Those had been my longest project on the needles, work in progress on the needles. So I don't think I had anything. Oh, I did want to mention, because it's sport weight, my normal cast on stitches amount is 64. That's what I always use when it's a normal fingering weight, but because this was a little bit more, I decided to do 56 stitches. So that was the only thing different. And then I did a fish lips kiss heel I always do a fish lips kiss heel. Unless I otherwise state. So, in case I forget. My next finished object is my ice streamer socks is what I'm calling them, because that was the colorway of the yarn. They are by Fully Spun. The yarn is by Fully Spun in the ice streamer colorway. And it was some beautiful, beautiful yarn. I think they're going to wear so nice. They feel just a little bit rustic, but they're still very soft now that they've been washed. And it's yarn that was barber pulled, 2 colors, kind of gradient all the way along. Yeah, I was so happy with these. So I did do a texture pattern on this one as well. It's the Hermione's Everyday Sock pattern by Erica Luter. Just a fun texture. Well, hello, Poppy Seed. Yeah. I hope you can hear her. She might. Oh, hello. Come here. You're the star of the podcast. What are you doing? She's like, I was not here to be manhandled. I just wanted to play in the yarn. Grumpy. Okay, get out of here. These ones, since it was a normal weight, fingering weight yarn, I did 64 stitches cast on. Fish lips kiss heel. All the way down. Wonderful. So happy that I got those off my needles. It felt so good. And like I said, I was on a roll. I was like, I want to knit all the socks. When I very first started knitting, I wanted socks from the beginning. And I started and I didn't stop knitting socks. And I think I kind of got burned out a little bit because I haven't made as many recently as I used to. So this has kind of put a fire under me to get more made. So there is a little bit of a story though with this. I was working on the next sock and we were coming home from Montana because I had run out of yarn on the baby blanket. So I thought, well, I brought a pair of socks. I will work on those on the way home. And first round, I do magic loop with my needles, and the cord wasn't coming through all the way. And I'm like, what's going on? Well, I kept the needles because I wanted to show you. A little baby poppy seed, I think, or it could have been Nori, I don't know. One of the cats chewed on my needle, my cord. So, I don't know if you can see, right there, it's like a thorn both ways. There's a thorn right here and a thorn on top, going different directions. So as I was sliding my needle through, it would get caught on the yarn. So I had to put that away. I got the sock off onto DPNs just to hold, so that way I didn't have stitches falling off, or whatever this causing havoc on my project. And I ordered new needles to come. And at that point, I gave up on knitting on the ride home. I was like, this is cursed. I'm going to take a nap instead. So that's what I did. Basically sat the whole way home. God bless my husband for always wanting to drive, because I was over it. So, yeah. Once I got the needles, it was perfectly fine. It was a breeze. And got them done. Okay, quickly, last project, finished object. You've never seen these before, because I finished them in like a week. I finished these while we were sick last week, because that's about as much as I could do, was work on vanilla socks. Don't, Poppy. I did show you the yarn though, because I brought it with me to Montana to maybe cast on while I was there, but I spent all my time working on the blanket, so didn't do that. But had it ready, skeined up and to go. So as soon as these other socks were finished, I cast on. The main color yarn here is Blue Mountain Fiber Arts Socks That Rock, lightweight, in it's a Supernatural Thing colorway. And it's funny because they pooled very differently, which I don't mind one bit. See how this one's more blue on that side and pink on this side, and this one kind of evenly spirals around. So anyway, kind of fun. But I just did vanilla plain all the way down, different contrasts, cuff heel toe. The contrasting colors are all Knit Picks Stroll Brights in the electric blue, vibrant violet, and sour apple colorways. 64 stitches. I cast on, so fun story. I cast on 64 stitches here because this is a normal fingering weight for me. But like I said, the Socks That Rock yarn I find is a little bit more on the sport weight side for me. So I did my cuff in 64 stitches. Then in the first round of the last round of contrast, I decreased down to 56 stitches. So then I knit this 56 stitches. On the back side, I increased to 64, well, 32, because half on one needle, right? Knit the heel, decreased so that I had 56 again, and then knit 56, and then increased again to 64, because I was using kind of two different weights of yarn for my gauge at least. I've knit this Socks That Rock yarn as a full sock once, and I used my normal 64 stitches and they came out quite big. They're a little bit baggy. I love them. They're my favorite at home socks, but when I wear them like in a shoe, they're kind of baggy. So that's why I went down for the main color yarn. Yeah, so 3 pairs of summer sock camp socks done. That's awesome. So very happy. And I think that that is all of my finished objects. So I do want to talk a little bit. I have one new works in progress, but really quick, I haven't touched my sweater. I haven't touched any of the big blanket long-term whips that I've shown before. I am just following the dopamine, and right now the dopamine is saying socks. So in one of my project bags, this is one of the Halloween project bags that I have available in my shop during Halloween. This one didn't quite make it because I had an error somewhere, a mess up somewhere. So whenever they're messed up, I keep them for myself. So, but anyway, forgot what I was gonna say. So last night I cast on another pair of socks, and this is the yarn. Fun autumnal colors. I know it says summer sock camp, but I'm not really necessarily knitting socks because they're summer themed. I'm just knitting them during the summer because I want to wear them in the fall and winter. So I'm just picking random skeins of yarn out of my whatever I'm feeling is beautiful that day. That's what I'm picking, and that's what I'm casting on. So this is Destination Yarn in the Fall Run colorway. It's on the Letter Plus base, which is the fingering weight, 80% merino, 20% nylon, 40 yards per 100 grams, 400 yards per 100 grams. Come on, Destination Yarn. Fall Run. It's beautiful. It's kind of squishy, it's kind of plump. I don't know if you can see, it's got a beautiful plumpness. And it's making like the most perfect squishy sock I've ever seen. I am to the heel of the first sock using one of my DPN cozies that has dog hair on it. I sell these in the shop too. But I'm to my heel. Need to insert the first heel. And I did decide, I know this yarn is quite busy in the colors, and I'm absolutely loving that. But I did decide to do the Blueberry Waffles pattern by Sandy Turner on it. Not necessarily for the look of the pattern because of the yarn, but because of how squishy the fabric is. Because that yarn is meant to be knit in like a squishy, waffly, cozy up with your favorite socks type pattern. And that's exactly what I'm getting, is that just perfectly squishy, I dropped the bag, perfectly squishy texture. It's not really coming through very good, and the color is showing more orangey red, which I guess it is, but there's a lot of different colors in here. So anyway, that's my one work in progress, and that's really all of the active knitting that I have to show you. But I do want to go over really quick my acquisitions, because I did do some yarn shopping while in Montana. I'm going to put this up here so the cat can't get it. And I want to show that off. So I was good though. I went to, well, all along the way, all of the yarn shops that I wanted to hit, because I was going to kind of do like a yarn crawl from here to there, were either closed or they've moved to online only, or they were seasonal and weren't open yet. And anyway, so I ended up only hitting the one shop in Billings called Yarn Bar. And they're probably one of my favorite shops ever. It's a gorgeous shop. And they gave me this cute tote bag as well. So I think I mentioned on the last podcast that I want to knit a Tecumseh sweater by Caitlin Hunter. So I just bought yarn to do that project. Maybe I'll just do one of each color. So here we go. This is going to be the main color of the sweater, this gray. And then this is going to be the feather kind of motif that she's got. And then this is going to be the cross motif. So I think those go quite well together. I think it's going to be super cute sweater. So I got 3 or 4 of these, 2 of the green, and just 1 of the gold. So this is Kelborn Woolen's Scout. It's 100% wool, 274 yards per 100 grams. It is a DK weight? Sport weight? It doesn't say. I think it's DK. But it's Kelborn Woolen Scout. This color is Pewter Heather. This color is Juniper Heather. And the gold is Sunflower Heather. So yeah, that was it. I really wanted to buy so many single skeins of beautiful hand-dyed sock yarn, but I didn't. I stuck with my guns and only got what I said I was going to get for my sweater. So yeah, maybe once the sock knitting mojo wears off, I will finish the sweater I have cast on and then cast this on. We'll see. So yeah, that's really all I have to share. Just sock knitting like crazy. So I guess I'll end with, that's all of the knitting content. yarny content. If you don't want to hear anything about live chat, then I guess I will see you next time. Thanks for joining. Live chat, there isn't much, just working after we got home from vacation. We got sick on Sunday and we've both been home all week trying to fight that, and we both go back to work tomorrow, so we'll see what kind of crazy that entails, but that's it really. Dogs are healthy, cats are healthy. I guess Sage did have an ear infection the other day, but we got that taken care of. But just knitting and living life. So I don't really have anything more to share. But like I said, if I skipped over something or something I said didn't make sense, just leave me a comment or contact me in any of the variety of ways, and I will answer your questions. So anyway, I will talk to you guys here in a little bit, probably about a month, and we'll see what else, however many other socks I finish. So thank you for joining. Thank you if you're a new viewer for attending, tuning in, whatever. I appreciate all of the support from new viewers, old viewers, my family, my friends. Y'all are awesome. Make me cry about it. So anyway, thank you for joining. See you next time.